Well, all right, guys, welcome back to the BlastCast, where you get everything Baltimore Blast every week. I'm your host, Brad Crossley, and I have two fantastic guests today. They are going to be an integral part, obviously, in the success of our Baltimore Blast this year. Just before I get to them, though, real quick, just a reminder, we have 3 big home games coming up in the month of February, so please make sure you're coming out to TU Arena and checking things out. As always, you can get tickets through the normal avenues, BaltimoreBlast.com. You can download our app to any of your devices, or you can go to Ticketmaster and get your tickets as well. We have Kansas City coming up, we have Empire coming up, and we have UCFC coming up as well in February. So please make sure you're getting out to the arena and checking it out in person. We just had a sellout crowd against the St. Louis Ambush. The atmosphere was fantastic, so please make sure again, you're coming out to the arena. So with that out of the way, let's get to our guests this week. My 2 guests this week are our fantastic goalkeepers for your Baltimore Blast, Mike Zierhoffer and Quantrell Jones. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show.
What's going on, Brad? How are you?
How was your good holiday?
Absolutely. Always.
Yeah?
Good to see the family.
Yeah?
It's always nice, but good to get back and see our guys too.
Yeah. Quantrell, good holiday?
Same as well. Just good to spend time with the family and everybody else.
Good. So, just a couple questions, guys, just so the fans can kind of get to know you a little better. So, Mike, I'll start with you. We're going to talk about some present day stuff here in a little bit, but I want to go back a little bit. Some people maybe not know your kind of journey, right? And I think it's kind of a very interesting one, okay? So, you're a local guy, right?
Yep.
Metro Baltimore area. Decided to go to Clemson, right?
Yes,
Clemson
sir.
University. Engineering major, was that right?
Yes, sir. Civil engineering.
So smart guy here, people, right? Engineering major. So again, very interesting. You decided to go to Clemson, really large university, right?
Yeah.
And then your first 2 years there, you decided you were doing club ball, right?
Yeah. So I knew I wanted to go to school, and at that point, I figured, I enjoyed my time playing soccer before, but that was it. After that, I went down to school. I started playing club soccer, did really well there, and then one of the guys on the Division I team left the team. They had seen us play a couple games. They said, take a look at this guy on club, invited me out for a couple weeks of practice, then sure enough was on the team after that.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question was, so you're playing, the club ball, and then how was that transition to the big team, right? Especially at a really large Division I university.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. They can tell when you're willing to work hard and willing to put in the effort and willing to kind of put yourself in your spot and learn. And as soon as we get in, everybody was really helpful. The facilities we had were fantastic.
Yeah.
So it makes you really excited to go every day. Yeah, they were patient. They kind of brought me along, and then it was a fantastic 4 years. Or I guess I was there for 4.5 years, the last 3.5 playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome time, and they just won the national championship this year. Go Tigers.
Oh, there you go. Plug for Clemson here. All right, so I'm going to switch over to Quantrell here. So another local guy, right?
Yep.
Before I get to your UMBC days here real quick, obviously I was doing my due diligence here. U17 national player, was that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and you went to a World Cup?
So we qualified for the World Cup, but
Okay.
I was unfortunately not. I was able to help. I didn't.
Okay. How was that experience working with the national team?
Amazing experience, right? So it's been the top guys at the age group at that moment, right? And obviously there's a big pool of players that are in 17, 16,
Right.
things like that. So just an amazing experience. I mean, I truly believe that if I didn't do that residency program, then I wouldn't be at the level that I am today.
Sure. So then we move forward a little bit. Decide to go to UMBC, right? A local juggernaut here in the Metro Baltimore area. Always has a great program over there at UMBC. Talk a little bit about your time there, and then I also want you to talk a little bit about. You can't talk about UMBC soccer and not talk about Pete Caringi, right?
Yeah.
And kind of your relationship and what he did for you there.
Right. Yeah. So. Really the person that kind of like got me interested in really going into UMBC was Anthony Adams. He was my club coach for a little bit. I've worked with him for a little bit. And then going there, I didn't play until about halfway through my freshman season. a keeper got injured, and then I got the opportunity to play against Navy. And then after that, I was a starter going forward, and it was a great first freshman year. Me and Coach Caringi have built a relationship of where we were always open and honest with how he wanted me to play and what I think I could provide with the team.
Sure.
So he kind of let me have the reins, but he would also, this is what I want in this scenario and things like that. But no, it was a great experience for all. I took my 5th year because of COVID.
Okay.
I unfortunately got injured, tore my meniscus in my senior year. But after that, I asked him if I could stay. He said, yeah, for sure. And it was a great ride all the way through.
That's great. That's great. So moving forward from obviously your collegiate stuff now, guys, let's talk a little bit about present day stuff. All right. So Mike, I'll go back to you here. So a little bit of a transition year this year, right? A little bit of a different off season, and then coming into the new season here again. Some transition is happening. Talk a little bit about how that was for you personally, and then what has Coach Bascombe kind of expected from you this season?
For me personally, obviously it's a big change, but I've been here training for I think it's 4.5 to 5 years now, somewhere in there. So we've done so many reps of all the things we've done in training here. Obviously got a couple games mixed in here and there, so it's definitely a bit of a mental shift to kind of come in knowing that this year is going to be different. But obviously we come in, we're excited. The last couple years we've had slow starts, and this year ended up being no different. But as we've gone, we've kind of gotten used to this new normal, and you can tell as we get into this stretch, we're starting to click a little bit.
Right.
So, as with most years, we kind of come in a little bit uncomfortable, but we're getting a lot more comfortable as the season goes on.
Good. Quantrell, I'll switch over to you now. So obviously you had a fantastic collegiate career, outdoor career. Talk a little bit about the transition now into indoor, right? Because look, my feeling is goalkeeper, one, it's obviously one of the most important positions, regardless of whether it's outdoor or indoor, right? I think indoor it's even more vital, just because of the speed of play and all that stuff. And there's a lot more that goes into it, right? Between positioning and distributing, right? That's a big thing, and all that stuff. Talk about kind of maybe some challenges that you've seen coming now into the indoor game, especially playing at the highest level.
Challenges for me is just, I think the main thing is just trying to read the boards, no matter if it's like played and it's sticking on the board and just rolls, or how to use it when playing distribution. I've been talking to a bunch of guys, including Mike, about like how different it can be. I think I'm trying to relate it more with playing futsal, whereas like if you're trapping the ball, it's going to be the inside of your foot, rather in futsal, it's going to be that sole. Obviously, the speed of play is very high tense. It's very fast,
very quick, yeah.
Especially on our field. It's much shorter, so everything comes in much quicker, so it's more reaction-like. You're not going to hold many things. I think the biggest challenge for me, again, is just trying to read the boards. I relied on my technique of shot stopping.
Right.
So, I think that's just the biggest thing for me at the moment.
Yeah, so kind of to your point there, outdoor, yeah, you have to be a shot stopper and all that stuff. Indoor, you have to be a shot stopper, distributor, positioning, all that stuff. So you bring up a lot of good points there. So Mike, again, switching back over to you here. Talk a little bit about the relationship between you and Quantrell here, right? So really, I'm sure you're really supporting each other through this whole process, right? But then maybe talk about a little bit about how you need to kind of, have that, not a rivalry, but kind of push each other too every day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Every day we come to practice, we push each other, we work hard, and we know that at the end of the day, the harder we push each other, the more we can get to the team. But again, yeah, every time we come over to the board, like in timeouts and everything, the first thing we do is go and talk to each other, like what's going on, what can we do better, what do we do well, and then first thing after every game, we go up, hug, talk about what went well, what didn't, and we want to celebrate each other's victories and work together on defeats. So obviously each of us want to spend as much time on the field as possible, but at the end of the day, above that all, we want to see our team winning. Sure.
And then kind of back over to you here, Quantrell, real quick. So our team this year, right, good mix of some younger guys and then a good mix of some of the veteran guys, right? So like Mike just said, you guys talk a lot, when you're on the sidelines and kind of work things out. Talk a little bit about have you really tapped into some of the guys like, Tony and Juan and Mello and those guys to kind of, teach you the nuances of the game as well?
No, for sure. The person I think I rely on the most, if it's not Mike, then it's Juan, with just calming down Josh as well, calming down where to play. Sometimes I play balls that in my mind, I don't think it's good. But then in reality, it's fine because this can happen and this can happen. And even with Mike, I rely on him a lot on asking what should I do in this scenario, or what happens if, say, this happened. I relied on a lot of guys. I did it back at UMBC. As a freshman coming in, I wanted to get the respect from the top guys first, because then it just shows that the young guys are willing to learn and adapt if you just ask questions.
Yeah.
But no, for sure, Juan is probably one of the top guys I rely on a lot of information and things like that.
Great. And then, Mike, back to you. Just a real quick question here, because you've been around for a couple more years than Quantrell has. Favorite away place to play?
That's a good question. I have to say, I think that playing at the Adirondack Bank Center up in Utica is
good atmosphere,
awesome.
right?
I'm a sucker for hockey too. They have kind of a really old school, quaint hockey arena.
Yeah.
And obviously they show up well for games, so they kind of jeer you pretty good. But it's really
That's
cool.
always good.
It's really cool when you hear it get real quiet.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as away arenas, they have a pretty good atmosphere, and it's fun to hear them. It's fun to hear it get quiet.
Very good. All right, guys, so what I've been doing with all the players that have been coming on the show, we're going to do some quick fire questions, all right?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And let me tell
goes first?
I can tell you what. I've had some interesting answers to these questions, so I'm excited to get your guys' take on this, all right? So, all right, Quantrell, I'll start with you. Favorite food?
Pasta.
Pasta?
Yeah.
Is that a go-to before games too, or?
Normally, yeah, that or I do chicken and rice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you, I think everybody on this team loves chicken and rice, because that has been the answer to
For sure.
everybody. All right, so you, favorite food?
Chicken and rice.
Okay.
You made it too easy.
Very easy there. All right. All right. So I'll go back to you. Music.
Rap and hip hop.
Rap and hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're starting to get an affinity for some Brazilian stuff.
Some songs in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Playlist, yeah.
All right. Favorite music?
Oh God, I am so all over the place.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to pick one. But yeah, no, the Latin mixes
Yeah.
are kind of coming on a lot. But especially for my girlfriend, she always plays in the car, and then I hear it here. So it's funny when I hear the songs coming in and out. So
Right.
couldn't be any more all over the place.
Great. Superstitions, game time superstitions. Any rituals or superstitions? You put your right shoe on first or anything like that?
Did a lot in college. I would listen to an Under Armour commercial by Ray Lewis, who was directing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Listen to that before a game. That little Metallica.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
So,
There you
yeah,
go.
I would do that
Nice.
and then go out my day and do
Okay.
what I got to do.
Superstitions, rituals, anything before the game?
I don't know about superstitions, but just a lot of habits. After doing it for so many years, I always put my right leg and shoe stuff off before my left. Not that it's a superstition. I'm sure if I did it the other way, I wouldn't really freak out.
Right,
but
right.
Gets used to that. I usually have a cup of coffee or two before games.
Oh.
So always a little bit of caffeine, both before games and practice, just to kind of as a little mental trigger, it's time to go.
Okay.
So.
All right, so this is the last quick fire question. Most of the time when people ask this question, they usually only give the person 2 options. I'm going to give you guys 3 options. Okay. The first bunch of guests I've had on the show so far, it's been a lot of the Brazilian guys, so you could probably imagine what their answer to this was. But Quantrell, I'll go to you first. In your mind, greatest of all time, Messi, Ronaldo, or Pele? Messi.
No, without a doubt, Messi.
There's a Messi guy over here.
Yeah.
Mike?
I would say Messi as well. It's harder to compare with Pele because we grow up watching these guys
Right.
live. It's so hard to compare against the past.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But yeah, Messi's just a unnatural talent.
Okay.
That, kind of God-given stuff. So.
All right. So we've had a few Messis, a lot of Pelés, as you can imagine, with the Brazilian guys, right?
Yeah. No
but
Neymar?
no Neymar. But then again, I didn't give that option, right?
Good.
So, last thing, I'm going to go to each of you. Just, do you have a message for the fans or anything, or?
No, just it's always great to see I guess it's now TU Arena get filled up, and it's awesome to see your support. yeah, we're so lucky here to have the staff we do, have the fans we do. So just appreciate everything you guys do for us and all you guys, vocalize your support for us. Your patience getting through the first few games as we have every year, and we're looking forward to peaking at the right time.
Yeah. Quantrell?
He's kind of
He kind of took everything from you?
Just the appreciation from the slow start to my first start as well, and then going into it. Yeah, just nothing but appreciation for you guys, and just keep coming out and supporting us, because we wouldn't be able to do what we do without your guys' support. So we all deeply appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great stuff. So as you heard, guys, come on out to TU Arena. Like I said, 3 games in the month of February. Come on out. Let's get loud for the guys, and we'll see you next time.
Perfect.